What about when you come up against him? What then?
I'll fight harder, I always have.
Take a look. His speed, his ferocity, his training. I see the power of belief. I see the League of Shadows resurgent.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this weekend was interesting. If you're like me, you had never heard of Oliver Anthony before. You never heard of this country music singer, and suddenly he's everywhere. #1 trending on Twitter, getting millions and millions and millions of plays, having video YouTube videos going mega viral. Who is this guy? Well, much like the Bud Light boycott and particular instances in time, it's not always necessarily about who or what you are, but it is the timing at which you are available or the timing that you find yourself in that creates these viral moments. This might be the biggest I've ever seen. And it's a result of the nonstop woke nonsense from companies like Bud Light and others that created a overnight anti-woke superstar. By the way, for wherever you're watching this video, I hope that you'll hit that subscribe button down below. I cover 4 to 5 topics a day, plus I live stream every day on Rumble from 12 to 2 Central Time, and it's definitely hard to reach people. So if you don't have an account or you haven't yet subscribed, please do create one and subscribe. It just makes finding my stuff easier and lets platforms know that people actually care about my videos. Right-wing music boom. New anthem from unknown artist after Aldean's Try That. Jason Aldean was able to get a little juice out of his right-leaning song, and now another guy's doing the same thing, but he isn't even close to as famous, which is interesting. The dude's name is Oliver Anthony, and he's a man of the land, living in Farmville, Virginia. However, he's also a musician, and his song just released, Richmond, north of Richmond, is catching fire among conservatives all over the country in just a 24-hour window. I mean, I don't know if this is his particular song or his particular page. It has 517,000 upvotes and nearly 10 million views. 10 million views. That's just on one YouTube video. I would say there's probably double that on Twitter, and then wherever, Spotify and everything else. I don't even think this guy had a Twitter account before the other day. The reason, the track, and the music video too, it seems, is resonating with folks in a grassroots kind of way. By the way, that's how music used to work before all of the musicians and pop stars were manufactured. This is actually how it would work. You know, you'd play a song, people would hear it, and then they would tell somebody else about that song, and then they would tell somebody, and then they would tell somebody. That's how music used to work. Is resonating with folks in a grassroots kind of way. Let's see, seeing how he's performing out in the woods in a very stripped down environment. Plus, he definitely has talent, a unique sound indeed. Now, for the actual lyrics, they seem to walk the line between the everyman, working class American point of view and far right sentiments, depending on how you look at it. Well, if you're just a normal person, you say, these are just regular lyrics, you know? But if you're the media, it's far right. Everything's far right. Trump. See Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, "This is the anthem of the forgotten Americans who truly support this nation and, unfortunately, the world with their hard-earned tax dollars and incredible hard work. The song represents my district and the people of America I know and love." And if you look, this is in response to Oliver Anthony's actual post here, which has on Twitter 22.6 million impressions. Certainly, you know, hundreds of thousands, millions of songs. Richmond, north of Richmond, has been uploaded to all major streaming platforms and will show up there in a few days. I'm still in a state of shock at the outpouring of love I've seen in the comments, messages, and emails. I'm working to respond to everyone as quickly as possible. This whole thing has been wild. Oliver addresses DC politicians without explicitly identifying a party, sucking Americans dry by wanting total control of their lives, while going on to lament social ills, including seemingly slamming the welfare system, and also appears to reference Mr. Jeffrey. In the wake of Oliver uploading Two streaming platforms, it looks like it's been spiking in sales. Some sites showing it number one on iTunes, meaning it's been purchased a crap ton since it went up, but doesn't necessarily account for streaming numbers, not yet anyway. Several, quote, right-wing influencers are praising Oliver's song, his passion, and some politicians are chiming in as well with a big thumbs up. As for Oliver, he's overwhelmed by the attention, saying he'll be performing locally for the time being. It remains to see if Richmond, north of Richmond, will have the same chart success of Aldine recently experienced, but based on the groundswell already, it's certainly possible. Well, I would say so.
Y'all are crazy. Somebody just sent me a screenshot that Richmond, north of Richmond, is number one on iTunes. And I don't even have words. I don't even know. So everybody's been asking me about shows. I've got one kind of last minute set up in Eastern North Carolina, Currituck, North Carolina, this coming Sunday, August 13th, at the Morris Farm Market. So that's the Morris Farm Market, Currituck, North Carolina. August 13th, I'm playing from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m., and I will stay until 2:30 a.m. if I have to. But I promise, if you show up, if you're willing to come and listen to me, I am willing to stay and listen to you. I'm going to shake your hand. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your story. And if you're more than a few hours away from Currituck, don't sweat it. Like, don't make this into a big trip. There's no rush with this. Like, I'm going to be playing a lot of shows, a lot of local venues. I'm going to take my time with things. Like, I want to.
Just seems like a pretty good dude, right? This seems like a pretty good dude. And that's kind of why the media now is having a complete meltdown. Right-wing influencers just found their new favorite country song. Richmond, north of Richmond, a singing farmer in Virginia blasts high taxes and obese people on welfare. Oh no! This guy is basically a Klan member. He must be stopped. He must be stopped. Right-wing influencers are losing their minds over a country song that just appeared on streaming services today. Richmond, north of Richmond, is a passionate screed against the state of the country by Oliver Anthony, who identifies as a farmer living off the grid with his 3 dogs in Farmville, Virginia. In a video Anthony posted to YouTube earlier this month, he stated that writing songs in 2021 after he wasted a lot of nights getting drunk, raw solo songs with titles like I've Got to Get Sober and Ain't Got a Dollar helped cultivate a small following, but it was more recently released performance of Richmond, north of Richmond, in which the red-bearded Anthony performs a song on a resonator guitar in the field with a deer blind behind him that caught the attention of conservative personalities like John Rich, Dan Bongino, and Matt Walsh. The main reason the song resonates with so many people isn't political. It's because the song is raw and authentic, and we are suffocated by artificiality, tweeted Walsh. I'd agree with that, vowing to promote any album Anthony releases on all his platforms. I'll look at the lyrics, however. Suddenly, WAP is a fine song. I'm not sure that the Rolling Stone had any problems with any of these modern rap and WAP songs or whatever. I look at the lyrics, however, may suggest another reason why Richmond north of Richmond is appealing to right-wing influencers. Anthony rails against high taxes and the value of the dollar, but also wades into some Reagan-era talking points about welfare. Lord, we've got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and obese, milking welfare. What's wrong with that? He sings, well, God, if you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bag of fudge rounds. Why are you so offended by that? The real head turner is a apparent allusion to Mr. Jeffrey's Island, where the billionaire introduced, obviously, I wish politicians would look out for minors, ERS, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Well, I don't know if they ever did look out for them, right? I don't think anybody's been convicted, as far as I know, right? Even Joe Rogan, I guess, mentioned it. Joe Rogan tweeted, I love this song. You can't fake authentic. And Oliver North has it. I'm sorry, I keep saying Ollie North, the military guy. Oliver Anthony has it in abundance. Richmond, north of Richmond. Shared by Joe Rogan, got 750,000 likes. Of course, it didn't take long for the internet to draw political lines around the song, choose sides, and make conversation about them. However, Oliver himself took to YouTube to introduce himself and explain the meaning of the song. He also says he falls dead center politically. It touches on my time in Western North Carolina working in the factory. It talks about some people who live north of Richmond, Virginia, who I'm sure you're very aware of, probably talking about DC. It touches on, trafficking and atrocities. I'll say this. I sit pretty dead center down the aisle on politics and always have. I remember as a kid, conservatives wanting war and me not understanding that. And I remember a lot of controversy when the left took office. It seems like both sides serve the same master, and that master is not someone of any good to the people of this country. I think that, based and true. I don't really know what else I can. I 100% agree with him. And even if I'm not a country music fan, I'm happy to cover him and offer support. He also wrote, and I drew the line on being quiet when I started to see it becoming normalized, and I'll leave it at that. He continued that the last part of the song tackles mental health, which combined with addiction continues to plague society in rural parts of the country and in the cities too, right? There's no reason young men and women in this country should be ending their lives. It's obviously a problem. People talk about epidemics in this country, homelessness, drug use, and the lack of skilled labor. Those aren't problems. Those are symptoms of a bigger universal problem. A lot of people know that. It's common sense, but we don't talk about it enough. This guy is great, based and 100% true. If you want to check out his music, obviously it's it's everywhere online, so you're going to be able to see that for sure. I'm happy for this guy's success, and I hope he has a long career and remains unspoiled by the system. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.